You got a plan?
Always. So that was a fucking lie.
Hello everyone and welcome home. It's been a while and a lot of stuff has happened in the wake of my absence. We got more teasers for The Reckoning. The Reckoning came out. I beat The Reckoning killing Sam. I beat The Reckoning killing Richtofen. And then of course they put out the reveal trailer for Black Ops 7 at Gamescom. So that's a whole lot of shit. And today we're kind of gonna sit back and talk about it all. But before we do, be sure to slash that like button, beat the shit out of that subscribe button, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, grab out your knives because we are gonna gouge our way through all of today's talking points. Okay, so now that Reckoning has come and gone, we've beaten the Easter eggs, we've gotten everything solved, all the intel, does it do what it needed to do as a finale map? Yes and no. It ties up a lot of loose ends in the story. We get a conclusion to the Forsaken, more supposed proof of Samantha's death, whatever. How true that is, we won't know until Black Ops 7. We get a conclusion to Richtofen's family, Weaver's guilt, what this grief tweet was about, even though, yeah, it hinted towards grief. It was also giving us a heads up to the multiple branching finale points with the boss fight of the map, whether being able to choose to side with Sam or side with Richtofen. We also kind of get a little bit more on Panos and his benefactor. Not really a lot more, just kind of a couple radios, and then it all culminates in a cutscene that was clearly cut in half that leads into Black Ops 7 Zombies. So narratively, is this a good finale map? Honestly, for what it's going for, I would say yes. Why? Because it's clearly not a season finale, if you will. It's more along the lines of a mid-season finale, right? It doesn't tie up the whole story. It ties up this Black Ops 6 first half arc, and it's clearly building and leading into Black Ops 7, which is this year 2 basically. I think as long as a lot of these other loose ends are resolved in Black Ops 7, we'll look back at this and it'll look better. It'll feel better narratively, right? It doesn't feel like a bookend that's leading into something else like Cold War's finale did. It is leaving a lot to be desired, and I think hopefully they capitalize on that with Black Ops 7, and it feels more like payoff. It makes everybody feel a little bit better about the time invested. And now again, that's not to say that this does not have issues, because clearly it does. I mean, there's a lot of problems with dangling the Sentinel artifact in front of us like a pair of fucking keys. The whole thing with Samantha being killed off screen. I personally am going to hold out for hope that that's not true, but if it is, that is extremely disappointing and disrespectful to your fan base. The whole thing with the Forsaken, I mean, from this footage, you can see how quickly we take him out.
Foreskin.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's fucking dead.
Bro just took the fattest L in history. Huh? And building up to how big of a boss this motherfucker was in Cold War, having him go out like this was a little disappointing. I know a lot of people are really upset with this. Personally, my opinion, didn't care for the Forsaken much in Cold War, so this was kind of funny. It was a little funny, but also kind of ruins the stakes of Cold War. If we could take this man out this easy, what the fuck was the big deal? If we could take him out like this, then how come he killed Sam, right? Like, anyway, the lack of cutscenes, the lack of meaningful dialogue in a lot of this, also brings up just a lot of points on why this doesn't feel like a good finale map. In both endings, you have Sam get a body and she fucking says nothing, right? Probably because they're gonna bring back Julie Nathanson, hopefully, to voice Sam in her body. And then Richtofen's family, they don't say anything. After being dead, all of a sudden you're back alive. What the fuck? You're not gonna ask anything? Richtofen doesn't even say anything. You know, you'd expect a conversation to happen. At least acknowledgement that the crew that just helped you just got teleported into who knows where. Not only that, but both Panos and Blanchard don't speak to Richtofen throughout the entirety of the map. You'd expect some conversational points. I mean, the last time Richtofen talked to Blanchard was before he got teleported away in the intro cutscene to Liberty Falls. There's no conversations between Richtofen and Panos, even though they revered each other as scientists, but these are just things that we kind of expected a resolve for that we didn't get it. And those are loose ends, loose threads that make this lean more in the direction of a poor mid-season finale, right? There was things we wanted to see that we didn't get to. And who knows if it was time crunch or budgetary issues due to Black Ops 7 being right around the corner and every map supposedly having intro, mid, and end cutscenes for that. But it really hurt this, and honestly, it hurt this entire experience, the entire Black Ops 6 experience, along with the voice actor strikes really played an issue, but I don't know, I feel like that has me really nervous for the narrative going forward, especially in Black Ops 7. If you can't bring back the original voice actors to play this new version of Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo, which I believe the community is referring to them as Tempest until we see otherwise, that's what I'll call them as well. If we can't get those actors for Tempest, and I know Tom Kane had a stroke, recasting, as long as you get somebody good, okay. Don't use AI, that's just gonna fuck it all up. But Steve Blum, Fred Tatasciore, get him back. What are you doing? Come on, bring him back. Give us better conversational quotes. Give us better cutscenes, man. Let's fix this. Let's fix this shit, right? Fuck. Because I said this in my Why I'm Worried About the Reckoning video, which hopefully there is. I am a firm believer. I am standing on goddamn business when I say there needs to be an intro cutscene, a mid cutscene, and a finale cutscene that gives us enough information to fill in the gaps between Black Ops 6 zombies and Modern Warfare zombies, as well as bridge the path to the future in Black Ops 7 zombies. I will not stand for anything less, and if they do not deliver after this time away from dropping new maps and the resolution to the voice actor strike, I'm gonna throw a goddamn bitch fit. And as you can see, I was right. So, you know, this video is gonna be a little bit of crash out, a little bit of just talking, because did they bridge the gap between Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 3? No. Did they bridge the gap between Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7? A little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little. I mean, we have a little bit of information in the intel system via Panos talking about the fucking Transit remake that we're getting. But other than that, no new information. I mean, the closest thing we get to Modern Warfare 3 is Gray talking about how their DNA and Sam's eggs were stolen by Project Janus. But I mean, that's honestly the only time the voice actress gets to go to 110 with her performance. When you break down this map, and not just the experience of Black Ops 6, but when you just break down the map, there should have been a lot more going on than there was. There should have been more conversations. There should have been a lot more at stake here, and it should have felt like a finale map, even if it was leading into Black Ops 7 still. Even if this was a mid-season finale. Let me tell you, the mid-season finale of Season 4 of The Walking Dead did a great job. Season 4, Episode 8, Too Far Gone. The governor attacks the prison. We lose a lot of characters, and you do not know what's going to happen going into the rest of the season. Playing this map, we don't lose any characters outside of the Forsaken, and we're told that Sam is dead. And then you either get to give AI Sam a body or Richtofen gets his family, and then we're moving into Black Ops 7 immediately. We know what's going to happen. We know where their essence is going to get stolen. We know we're probably going to have to get it back in order to stop the multiverse from being a thing. And either we're going to fail so they could continue into the next game, or we're going to succeed and come back out. Either way, I don't know, man. This shit just drives me crazy. Why can't they just keep their shit in a straight line? They need a lore master, and I'm not talking about fucking Craig, who's MIA.
Have you seen this man?
Right, like Treyarch needs somebody there to keep all this shit straight, and they need to pay their actors, and they need to get this shit done on time. Sorry, my voice is going. Oh my god, I'm fucking losing it here. What a time to be a zombies creator, right? Or a fucking COD creator in general. Because man, it's hard. It's hard for me to keep what's going on straight. Fuck. So instead of continuing to talk in circles about the story, we're just gonna give it a flat 4 out of 10. Alright, a lot of stuff was alright, most of it was bad, but technically, theoretically, it still works as like a mid-season between this and 7. So maybe it'll be better after the next one comes out, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we come back, we spice up that number just a little bit. Maybe the payoff in Black Ops 7 is so good that we could come back and bump this up a little bit of a letter grade. But as of right now, we're sitting at a 4. So how about we talk about the actual map layout now? I think that would be a little better of a segue into everything else. So to start off, I actually really do like the atmosphere of this map. I know everyone's kind of tired of facility, but that's what zombies is kind of rooted in, and I kind of like how they did it with this map. I love the towers. I love that you start in the lobby and everything's all fucked up. I love that the atmosphere kind of tells a story of how nobody was prepared for this to happen at all, and it just happened so fast that even the Klaus manufacturing just started going haywire, and all the robot bodies were just dropping on the floor. I love that they were so unprepared that most of the important staff ended up dead, minus Panos and Blanchard, who in the grand scheme of things really aren't that fucking important. I really like the traversal system of going up and down in the towers. I know a lot of people have been complaining about it, but to me it's really fun. I like the little shooty shoot teleporters that bounce you between towers. I really like the ether elevators that bring you up and down. Those are pretty cool. I thought I wasn't going to. I thought I was going to hate the addition of the parachutes, but I don't. I kinda appreciate the fact that you can pull them when you're falling floor to floor. The only thing I will say, I really wish they didn't auto pull. There should be a sense of danger to where if you're not prepared to pull that chute, you're gonna go down. I do think that would be the only change that I would make. Other than that, I will say I was hoping Tower 3 would be playable instead of just for the end game. Kinda seems like a waste to have these 3 towers looming in the distance consistently to only be able to play in 2 of them. I understand why they did that, but I kinda just wish they didn't. Either way, it is what it is. They did give us the playable space in the Pack-a-Punch room, which is cool, even though it's still, I believe, in Tower 2. Going in Richtofen's office is cool. Overall, I really like the aesthetic. I like the containment room. It's my favorite room, probably. It's really cool next to the Pack-a-Punch room. I really like the movement on each floor because it's a tower. You have like a lot of spots where you can train zombies, but if you're not careful, you're gonna go down. Especially in later rounds when you have 3 or 4 Uber classes spawning at a time when you're playing with your friends. If you both try to run the same room, you're gonna go down. Everyone needs to find their own spot to train. There is the camping spot down by Mutant Research, which I've seen a lot of people utilize, especially for getting salvage or points quickly. But again, if you're not prepared for that either, you will get overwhelmed very quickly. I'm a big fan of just the color grading and everything. I know everybody's tired of daytime maps, but this map being set at sunset, I think works for it. The orange golden hour glow, and a lot of areas in the map are dark because you don't get sunlight at all. I think it works for the map. Some things I don't like, some of the corners get a little tight and hard to maneuver, especially if you're not paying attention. There's some things you are gonna try to jump over that you might not, or things you might try to slide past that get you caught up. I'm also not a big fan of this map's wonder weapon, the Gorgofex with either pack upgrade. I don't know, it looks really cool. I just feel like it doesn't pack the oomph that a finale map's wonder weapon should. Like, this could have been the Liberty Falls weapon, you know? I mean, I know they gave us the jet gun, but like, I don't know, this could have been that or the tomb. It could have been either one instead of giving us a reused wonder weapon from a past game. And this could have worked in either of those maps. I do think it's nice that there are 2 upgrade paths, but again, I'm not going to use them because they're not even that good for the boss fight. And you also, while wielding the Gorgofex, you can't wield the ray gun or ray gun Mark II as a secondary. So carrying wonder weapons isn't going to be a viable choice for you if you're that kind of player where you want to run both wonder weapons. It ain't going to work out, which I personally think is kind of a misstep, especially in regards to a wonder weapon in your finale map. I do think the map design helps with a lot of the side Easter eggs. I wish there were more. It feels kind of like a letdown when comparison to like Terminus and Liberty Falls, where there were a ton of side Easter eggs, especially at launch. It just kind of felt very weak. Like, I know you can get the Ether Blade, but even then, only one person at a time can have the Ether Blade, so it's gonna make it very competitive on who gets that first. And I sympathies to any poor soul playing a public match trying to get the Ether Blade before somebody else. All you gotta do is not pay attention for a goddamn second, and I guarantee you someone is stealing it from you.
Here I go! Steal! Let's see what I got. No way! This is better than I thought! Jackpot!
On top of the Ether Blade, it's also a recycled weapon again for Modern Warfare Zombies, which I know the budgets were low considering Black Ops 7 is around the corner. These are just a couple things I wish I could have seen delved into differently. I'm also a big fan of the Uber Klaus. I think he's a great addition, along with the Klaus bots instead of dog rounds. I am a little upset that the Doppelgeists make a return here. They've been in every map since Citadel, and I feel like they should have chilled out a little bit on reusing those boss zombies. Balancing with a couple of those bomber Klauses later on probably would have sufficed, rather than using the Doppelgeists, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure how much it outweighs. I know in the Sam fight you could get amalgams too, right? So, I don't know. Going back to the lore for a second, is it that the Dark Ether has memory? Because canonically, in the lore, it states there was only ever one successful amalgam, and it was Nathan. But then the Dark Ether's spitting him out like fucking tonsil stones.
I need to drown that out with some more mango.
Also, onto the boss fights. Richthofen is very difficult if you do not go in with a strategy. I think that is awesome. It took me and my friends a couple tries before we finally figured out a strategy that worked for us. And then Sam is very much so a bullet sponge, takes forever to whittle down, but is a lot easier in terms of not going down and not getting yourself killed. I do think maybe she should be upscaled a bit to be closer to Richthofen, because in your finale map, you've worked towards these Easter egg boss fights this whole time. Why not make him a little difficult, right? I personally think that would give the map a bit more longevity. I mean, don't get me wrong, people would bitch about it, but I also think a lot of people would respect that, especially if they end up nerfing Richthofen, which I hope they don't, because it provides a challenge that not everybody could do. The whole point of getting a super Easter egg is doing something not everybody else has done. It rewards you for being different. Speaking of the Easter egg, I feel like this one was basically just a lot of fetch quests. Go get this, go get that, go do this, go do this. You know, carry this head all the way across the towers. Fucking go get all the parts to become a mangler. Go get the Gorgofex weapon, right? Like, yeah, you have the mini boss fight with the Forsaken, but we already talked about that. It surprises me that it took as long as it did. Almost the same, or longest Easter egg time since Black Ops 4. But then again, you know, maybe just a lot of people weren't really doing it. I remember when it came out and I was like looking online to see who was playing the new map to do the Easter egg hunt. It was barely anybody. Whereas when Terminus and Liberty Falls dropped, I remember it was like hundreds of people streaming doing the Easter egg. And I feel like this one was just a case of people just not being as interested in it. And I don't blame them with how far we are in the cycle and how low community morale is. But I still feel like the Easter egg was just a little weak, you know? And I'm sure a lot of people out there share that sentiment. So in terms of Easter egg, again, I'm going to give that like honestly a 2 out of 10. I'm going to give the map layout and aesthetic, I'd say a 6.5 out of 10. I really like it. I'm going to give the bosses an equal 5 out of 10 because I really like Uber Klaus and the bomb Klauses. Not a fan of the Doppelgeists again, and Sam and Richthofen have a lot of pros and cons in their own right. Like that Wunderwaffe, man, that Wunderwaffe, that fucks you up if you're not paying attention, but I also really enjoyed how crazy it was. Overall, in its entirety, I'd give the map a 5. out of 10. Definitely fun to play, but in terms of excitement or being into it, it's not as good as, say, Terminus or honestly even Shattered Veil. But I do say it's higher than Citadel, The Tomb, and Liberty Falls for me. So hopefully they can work really hard at making the maps better for the future, because if they keep dropping flops, I don't think this mode has a whole lot of support left behind it.
Welcome to the party.
So Black Ops 7. Holy shit, we have come a long way since 2010. Over the last couple weeks, there's been a lot of information coming out about Black Ops 7. To begin with, we've learned a lot about the campaign. We've learned that it's going to be a direct sequel to Black Ops 2 and kind of fill in the gaps between 2 and 4 and 3 all at the same time, which is a little confusing, but you can check out some videos about that, at least to keep your timeline straight, right? So it picks up 10 years after Black Ops 2. All of a sudden, Raul Menendez has come back, and David Mason and his JSOC team are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. We've learned a little bit about this new mystery character, Emma Kagan, who is now leader of the guild, and how they're using what looks like this brand new version of the Cradle to cause the characters to go into some crazy hallucinations and mind-bending journeys that are going to bring us all over the place. And after we beat the campaign, we're going to unlock this brand new mode called Endgame.
And as part of the co-op campaign, we're unleashing something bold, the Endgame. This isn't just a final mission, it's a proving ground, a culmination of everything you've learned through the campaign, then turned on its head. The Endgame is a social experience where you and your squad will need to master abilities, survive overwhelming odds, adapt under pressure, and break the rules of what you thought a campaign could be.
And you get to do it not just with your friends, but there's another 28 players, so 32 in total. It is truly a living world.
With this whole new canvas at our fingertips, we wanted to make sure players could be rewarded in fresh new ways, even if they only play for the story. So for the first time ever, we're proud to announce we're bringing global progression to campaign in Black Ops 7. Earn XP, complete challenges, level up your weapons in the campaign, and bring them into MP, Zombies, or Warzone.
Which kind of seems like a big PvPvE, similar to DMZ, but also kind of similar to MW3 Zombies, like mixed together, which I think has the potential to be really cool. I think that's going to bring a new mode to the game that multiplayer fans, Zombies fans, and campaign fans can all get behind together and rally up a team consisting of somebody who mainly enjoys the campaign, somebody who likes multiplayer, and somebody who likes zombies, all coming together to like take on this end game, this big open world. And I think if executed correctly, it's going to be really cool. Now moving on to multiplayer, they have also confirmed they're not doing carry forward anymore, which I know has upset a lot of people, but for the vast majority of fans, at least the outspoken fans online, this is a really good thing. I'm sure a lot of people that aren't as vocal, they don't use Twitter to talk about Call of Duty, they're just average players, I'm sure they're going to be pissed off because they spent all this money on these skins and now they can't bring them with them. I understand both sides. It's anti-consumer not to let your skins carry forward, but a lot of the OG fans don't want to carry forward, so it's a catch-22 to be honest. But they've also confirmed they're going to try to stick with more milsim-based skins throughout multiplayer this year, which they've promised every other COD, so I wouldn't hold my breath. I would take it a step at a time, and we'll see as the year progresses. They're also announcing more 3-lane maps. They got rid of doors, and they've been talking a lot about it online. Here's a couple things they had to say about what they're bringing to Black Ops 7 multiplayer.
Hey everyone, Matt Strauntz here, Design Director at Treyarch, and today I'm going to answer some of your questions about movement and Black Ops 7 multiplayer. Okay, what was the overall philosophy for movement in Black Ops 7? So I'd say the overall design philosophy for our core movement in Black Ops 7 was to pull back a little bit based off of where we introduced Omni Movement last year. Also, we've removed Tack Sprint by default. With that, we've increased our base movement speed, but you can take a perk if you still want to Tack Sprint. So that's kind of the philosophy, is pulling back a little bit, so not everybody's quite as aggro. But if you want to play that way, we've got opportunities through our perk system. We saw some big movement and jumps in the trailer. What does that mean for gameplay in Black Ops 7? So what you saw there specifically was our kinetic jump. That's specific to our co-op campaign. Those are not in Black Ops 7 multiplayer. What we do have in Black Ops 7 multiplayer is a refined Omni movement with the addition of wall jump. Can I chain wall jumps? Yes, you can. Right now we have it capped at 3 wall jumps. But to be a little more specific, on that second and third jump, you're going to lose a little bit of momentum. So that first one's going to be powerful, and then you'll lose a little bit of momentum on that second and third one. We want to make sure that people honestly aren't ping-ponging around the maps. We do have some really cool opportunities built into our maps, some of which you'll play in the beta. All that said, we're looking forward to getting this out into beta, into your hands, and then hearing your feedback, and then we'll go from there.
Will map pacing be different or better than Black Ops 6?
Black Ops 7 is a brand new game, and with that comes brand new maps. We're bringing 18 multiplayer maps at launch.
And an evolution of Omni movement. So with that comes a little bit of a change in pace, and of course, our maps have accounted for that.
We wanted to make sure we were giving players a chance to catch their breath before they jump right into the next engagement.
More 3-lane maps, please.
Oh, we got you. All of our maps we design from the start with 3 lanes in mind, and then sometimes we'll break those rules if we think there's something really fun or unique. We're definitely focusing on path clarity and really just getting back to the fundamentals of that Treyarch design style. Can we get more colorful maps like we used to back in the day?
Yes, we can. I think we've seen some of that through the direct and some of the map videos that we've put out. Maps like Homestead and looking up and seeing the Aurora Borealis up in the sky is really awesome in Black Ops 7.
Are face-off and gunfight coming back?
They never went away for us, so sure, they are coming back. We're trying to make sure that some of those maps that maybe just worked specifically for a gunfight or a face-off in the past, we want to really try to make sure that those maps can serve more purposes. Are we getting more medium-sized maps?
Yeah, so we're gonna have more medium or standard size 6v6 maps at launch.
Some of the learnings that we took from Black Ops 6 and applied to Black Ops 7 was looking at the size of our maps in general. So in Black Ops 7, we'll have fewer tiny maps and fewer larger maps. How many small maps at launch?
So you've got 4 maps that are specifically designed for both face-off, gunfight, and core 6v6 modes. So we're really focusing on making sure those are intentional for launch.
Yep, and one of my personal favorites, Blackheart, you'll be able to play in the beta coming up soon.
Are we getting more Black Ops 2 remasters?
We are going to get some more Black Ops 2 remasters. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but I have been reading the replies, and some of you have guessed correctly.
Doors? Question mark.
In Black Ops 7 multiplayer, there are no manual doors. We do have some automatic doors, just like we did in Black Ops 2. Shout out Drone, if you remember that, bit of a deep cut. At the start of development, our goal was to drastically reduce the number of manual doors we had in our maps. About halfway through, we did a door count, and I think we had about 6.
6 or 7. Yeah.
6 doors. So then we had a door meeting. And we said,
behind
closed doors. And then I kicked the door down and I said, let's delete all of these doors. So no manual doors in Black Ops 7 multiplayer. What can we expect for post-launch support?
Well, players usually want maps, so I'm told.
Yep, I want maps.
And of course, we've got a lot of new maps coming up.
In addition to maps, of course, we're going to have a ton of content throughout post-launch. One of my favorite weapons is going to be coming up very shortly. I think it is one that our fans will go ballistic for.
It's been really fun answering your questions about multiplayer maps, and we're super excited for you to play them.
We are listening, so keep the questions coming.
So as you guys can see, it's a lot of good stuff. They talked about the movement, which I think not allowing double jump, not really giving the jetpacks is a good thing. I do think the wall jumping sounds interesting. I do think there's going to be a lot of sweats that take advantage of that, but overall, I'm curious to see how it plays. I think if it's balanced enough, it's going to be fun. It's going to bring an aspect back to the movement that a lot of people are going to like, especially if you liked that jetpack era of COD. I personally wasn't crazy about it, but I've grown, I've matured, I'm willing to give it a shot. Like I said earlier, they've confirmed no doors, except for the automatic ones. They have confirmed better map sizing, and they're like really listening to the community on that, which I think is good, keeping the smaller maps for like gunfight and stuff, which is nice. I like small maps. I like playing gunfight, but I also really like medium-sized maps, so I think that is really good. I'm also really excited for a lot of those Black Ops 2 remakes. I loved Black Ops 2, it's my favorite Call of Duty of all time, and I'm really excited to, get the boots back on the ground of those old school maps. I think it's going to be really refreshing. I think a lot of people are going to have fun. I also think bringing a lot of color back to the maps is going to be really good for the aesthetic and the atmosphere of the multiplayer. A lot of the maps in recent games, especially in these last couple years, have been kind of muddy looking, and it kind of just takes you out a little bit, especially when you have colorful skins. You don't blend well. It makes it easier for you to die. It just looks too gritty for no reason. I've always loved Treyarch's for the more colorful maps. Modern Warfare has always had those gritty, realistic maps, but Treyarch and Black Ops has always done those colorful, really vibrant maps, and that's what I'm excited for us to have back. They've also announced a complete overhaul of the characters you can get in the Vault Edition. Before, everybody was complaining they looked way too silly, way too stupid, and they've been announcing one by one the changes that they're making to these characters. And as you can see, Harper, Karma, Ted, and the exoskeleton they have given us look fantastic now. I love the way they minimalized what was going on with Harper. They made him less bulky, a little more true to his character. Karma, even though technically she should be dead canonically, right, looks way better without all that blue shit all over the place. Here's something I'm really happy about. They gave us both versions of Ted. A lot of people were complaining about how Ted looked, but also there were a lot of people that kind of liked it. And instead of giving us one or the other, they said fuck it and just gave us both, which I think is a huge W for the community, but it also does not get them off the hook. And I'll talk about that a little bit here at the end. But for now, speaking of Ted, we're going to cross over to zombies. So just like I mentioned earlier when talking about Panos and his benefactor and how he left a radio talking about transit, we are basically getting transit back. They've kind of been talking about that it's not going to be an exact remake, but kind of a reimagining with new POIs and some familiar POIs, and instead of a bus to take us around through the fog, it's going to be a wonder vehicle that we could attach stuff to make it better and more like upgraded. You could also kind of see a leak here from some random guy's fucking stream, which is how this leaks. I'm sure the Wonder Vehicle is going to be a COD Next, similar to how the Abomination statue was. We've gotten a little bit of footage from what looks like the new Take on Farm, showcasing Tempest and bits of the gameplay, which looks very similar to BO6. I'm sure it's mainly going to play close to BO6. The main difference being there's going to be 8 operators, which is going to be our Terminus, Requiem crew, and then Tempest, of course, which I feel bad for the writers who have to come up with the dialogue every map because that is going to be crazy, but it's also not going to be as well thought out or put together as something like Alpha Omega was, and that's very clear from the story in Black Ops 6. I just don't think it's going to be there. We've also been hearing a lot about like new zombie enemy types in the fog, and how when you're in the fog it's going to exist outside of the rounds, and it's kind of going to be like a no man's land where you have unique zombies and you're going to need to stay together with that wonder vehicle in order to survive, and if you get split off from your team you're going to have a really hard time, which I think is going to present a new challenge that's going to be really cool to follow, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. Another thing we talked about earlier was the lack of carry forward with skins. They did announce that they're going to carry forward the Easter egg skins for the Requiem crew that you unlocked by completing each Easter egg, which is kind of a win, right? For at least for the zombies community. They've also showcased Dead Ops Arcade 4, which we haven't had Dead Ops since Cold War, and I think everybody's going to be pretty excited about that. Everybody loves Dead Ops Arcade, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited to play that with my friends, and they also announced for the first time we'll get cross progression between multiplayer, campaign, zombies, and Dead Ops, which means you could level up your weapons in Dead Ops, zombies, campaign and multiplayer, which I think is really cool. I think it's going to make a lot more people play all of the modes, or at least be willing to, when you could actually progress through these other modes. I think Dead Ops is going to be fun. I mean, just from the little bits of looks of it, with updated graphics and Black Ops 6 enemies. I mean, yeah, people are going to bitch and moan that it's reused assets, but it's Dead Ops, man. That's all it does. All right, it's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. And overall, what you want it to be is fun. That's why people play Dead Ops. It's fun and it has some challenge to it. Also, as of Sunday, September 14th, they've started the promotions for their quote-unquote week of zombies that they disavowed and then said they were doing again. So they started marketing, and I'm not going to cover that in this video because it's Sunday now as I'm recording this bit of audio, and I kind of want to talk about it after the week is complete, unless they drop some bombshell shit that I need to talk about. I'm probably going to wait until it's over. I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table. I know this isn't very descriptive. It's kind of vague, especially when talking to zombies, but so far they've given us a lot of vagueness. You know, we've heard rumors, and we haven't gotten a whole lot of solid information to go off of, and I'm really hoping that changes here in the next week or two. I'm really excited to see what COD Next brings, and just like last year, after COD Next, there will be another sobering take video. I think I'm going to start doing that yearly when, after COD Next, we kind of get to see. So, we'll be doing a sobering take on Black Ops 7 to kind of really dive deep into our feelings about that. They've also brought up, just kind of final points here, that they are doing weekly camo challenges that'll bounce between all game modes, and I think that is amazing. We only had like 5 in Black Ops 6. Like, I know you can unlock, you know, your camo grind, but like those specialty camos you can unlock in events, those are cool, especially when you could do challenges for them. I think that is the way to go, and I'm really excited for that. Overall, I am going to say, despite all of the positivity I've expressed over the last 10-15 minutes, I am still very on the fence. The only reason Call of Duty is making these changes, the only reason Treyarch is adjusting stuff like this, is because the pre-order numbers are low. They say, vote with your wallet, and that is exactly what people are doing, and now Activision and Treyarch are in a bind. They're like, fuck, maybe we actually have to listen to our fans for once. And we have to be really careful, because if we give in too soon, or at all, they're just gonna go straight back to taking advantage of us. At the end of the day, we pay money for this game. We are the fans, and we deserve to have our voices heard, and we deserve to have a say in how our gaming experience is going to be shaped. They used to care about us a lot, and over the last couple years, all they've cared about is their bottom dollar, and this doesn't exactly show that that has shifted. Like, the only reason they're making these adjustments now is to get pre-order numbers up. So, from your friendly neighborhood hometown killer, if you want the pre-order rewards, pre-order like a week before it comes out, but do not give them your pre-order money now. They need to work for it. They need to earn it. They do not just deserve to have people blindly throwing money at them. I want to see COD back in its glory days as much as the next guy, but like I've said, they have to earn it. Overall, I think we're heading in the right direction, but I am still just going to take everything I've seen here with a grain of salt until it is official. But please be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to continue the conversation there. I also would love to hear your thoughts about Reckoning and how it retcons so much of the story that we have come to invest ourselves in, and how it kind of just doesn't really feel like a finale. It doesn't feel like an end. It obviously sets up the next map. It feels more like a mid-season finale, at least in my eyes. If you agree with me, great. If not, I'd love to hear why, because all opinions and feelings and thoughts are valid here. So please let me know what you think down below. Also, I'm really sorry that I haven't uploaded in like a month. I've honestly been so burnt. The whole ending of Black Ops 6 burnt me out so bad that I just needed to take a while to rest. After this video, I'm going to cover zombies here and there as it comes out, but I don't think I can solely cover zombies on this channel without just wanting to neck myself. So, be on the lookout for some future videos. I'm going to be discussing some other topics that I like, some both new and old returning subjects of conversation that I think will just broaden our horizons a bit, and I'm really excited for that. I also want to bring back the Killer Cast a little bit. I got some guests lined up for that. I think that'll be fun too. Some more live streams. Definitely going to check out some new games in those live streams. And yeah, I am really excited for what the future holds. I'm still excited for Black Ops 7 even though I'm on the fence. And I am really excited to share some of my other passions with you guys. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for making it this far. And I hope you have a lovely week of zombies ahead of you. As always, I'm your friendly neighborhood hometown killer, and I will see you soon. Unless I don't and it's another month, but who fucking knows, right?